Hey everybody, and welcome back to the non-league adventure with Media Debut 365, playing as ECFC on Football Manager 2016. If you joined us last time, we had a game that I believe we lost, and as a result we ended up going on a bit of a losing streak. I believe it was Margate. I said we didn't really begin a losing streak. We had two further defeats, which were a bit poor, really. So yeah, last time out we lost against Margate 1-0. Bit of an even game, obviously not in the possession stat, but yeah, pretty disappointing to lose that one. We followed that up with a home loss against Morecambe. Most worryingly, we played terribly. No shots on goal. They basically dominated proceedings in my eyes, even though we had slightly more possession. Very, very poor game, to say the least. Then we followed that up with a televised game against Halifax, which Bobby Mosley scored an own goal, which was absolutely pathetic. And in a word, we got FM'd again. So I had a little bit of a tinker with the team instructions for the tactic, and I took off retained possession. I started the game against Maidenhead. We should be beating these easily because they're in the division below us. We made hard work of it, and despite them going down to 10 men, we couldn't add any further goals to Callum Geraldo Martin's 4th minute winner, as it turned out to be. We did play quite well, as the match rating suggests. Going into the next game, it was an away game against Boston United, who I believe were the first team to beat us this season. Yeah, we drew, won, and then lost our second home game of the season, and we redeemed ourselves with a 2-1 win, coming from behind, giggity, to steal it. It was an even game in terms of chances. We dominated the proceedings in terms of possession again. But like I say, it was a pretty even game, and we come away with a decent away win. And let's not forget, Boston are high up in the league as well. The other team we lost to, I believe it was the next team we lost to in the league, was Eastbourne Borough. Indeed it was. We had a draw, a win again. You could see a bit of a sequence there. And we lost 1-0 at home against Eastbourne Borough. This time, no mistake, we absolutely trounced them. And this tactic is starting to look a little bit better in an attacking sense, should I say, because Geraldo Martin got himself a hat-trick, with Lewis Dunn getting the other, making it 3-0 just before they pulled one back to make it slightly twitchy. But as you can see, absolutely everyone, barring George Thomas, got like a very good score, let's just say that. And that brings us to the next game, which is against Chester. Now, a few transfers to tell you about, because we are in January. I've been looking for replacements as well. Transfers and history. You may have noticed there that Jamie Eaton Collins is going to be on his way out. We sold Mason Duffy for 20,000. The reason behind that was his ability was not good enough, and he just wasn't really performing. The other next player was Daniel Galbraith and Jimmy Spencer, we already knew about. So between them three players, I believe it was about £2,800 a week we were spending. In terms of bringing players in, we've brought one in on £550 a week, and that is Liam Walsh, who's a 3.5-star player, can play defensive midfield, centre midfield. Let's just click on him and show you. Be probably the easiest thing to do. Only accomplishedly in defensive midfield and attacking mid, if we do want to change out the way we play. But I signed him, basically, I was looking for a box-to-box midfielder, if I'm being completely honest. As it turns out, it could well be a good player to rotate with Hesenthaler for the roaming playmaker, because if you have a look here, the only stat really that stands out as poor, well, the only stats, I should say, our attributes, is positioning, finishing and long shots. Now, I'm looking for him to be creative, not so much goal scoring. I'm not really looking at his goal scoring potential, but yeah, he's looking he looks pretty good anyway. And if you look at this here, he's deemed the second best player in centre midfield, next to Hesenthaler, with Piers Kerr and Lewis Dunn. The other two that are obviously the first teamers, with Joe Partington, who's I'm still thinking about maybe getting rid of at some point, but it just gives us a few more options in the centre of the park and defensive midfield role. So our squad has been trimmed somewhat, and another thing to say is Oren Jackson is on loan until the end of the season. His contract is up at the end of the season, which means that he probably won't play again. I'm pretty sure that he's got some sort of clause that gives him a pay rise as well, and that's why I think I sent him out. Either that or because he was only on 2-star ability, which at this level, when you're challenging for the top end of the league, is not good enough. There is obviously Adil Nabi. I was wanting to try and maybe sell, but then Cash declared that he wasn't getting enough game time and requested we terminated his loan. So I did that to save us about £110, £130 a week. So with that in mind, for the game today, it's against Chester. It is a game in hand, which as we sit at the minute, we are 10th, which is still obviously not good enough, but we've got games in hand over most of the teams above us, in particular Sutton United, who are in 5th at this moment in time. We've got 3 games in hand. If we win all them, we're on the same points as them. It's going to be tough, don't get me wrong, but I've got a sneaky feeling with this little bit of form that we've hit, we might be able to turn it around. There's nothing wrong with a bit of hope. So the team we are probably going to go with is probably the team that beat Eastbourne Borough 4-1, which is exactly the same one I've got here, with Liam Walsh more likely going to make a debut off the bench today. Leighton Lyons, ideally I don't really want him on the bench because he's literally just a squad filler type player at the minute. Good news is that Josh Williams is returned to fitness in a day, so he will no doubt be returning to the team at the earliest opportunity. Worth noting that Joe Partington got injured with a back strain, so we have been a little bit light in that area. That's probably why Bobby Mose has been playing most of the games, with Timon not really getting much of a chance. In fact, I'm going to bring on Josh Timon to the bench because he's not really played for a while. He's played 10 games and he hasn't really disgraced himself, but he's just not played anywhere near as well as Mosley. So that's why he's been kept out the side. Akil Wright will continue to deputise in the centre defensive position in place of Grimshaw, because Grimshaw is filling in at right back due to the 2 injuries to our right backs, Josh Murray and Partington. We're going to get into the game. I didn't set this for some unknown reason. I have a feeling that's going to cause us some issues. Never mind though, we're going to go into the game. We are at home. Liam Walsh is going to be the new number 7 because he looks creative as hell. It's a tough one for Chester. Chester are currently the team directly below us, so obviously if they win they go above us, and if we win we open up a 5-point gap between us and the next place team down. So I'm hoping that we can get a big result here and separate us from like the lower echelons, is that even the right word to use? Probably not, of the table. But yeah, we need a big performance here. Worth noting, we did have a couple of games postponed over Christmas, most notably the Boxing Day game. That was missed because of waterlogged pitch, which did allow us to have a bit more fitness. I can't even remember who it was who we played on the 28th. I think it was Eastbourne Borough actually. I could be wrong. I think I am wrong. But yeah, I'm just deciding what to do here. I'm thinking pick up where we left off, because we did play very, very well in the last game. But yeah, we had a bit more like fitness compared to them, and I think it was probably part of the reason why we did so well. But we'll have to see if we can match that performance now. We're sticking with George Thomas, who's got a goal in his 2 starts. So that was kind of pleasing. I'm just hoping he can carry on with that form. Well, hopefully a bit better form, because obviously he's not really set the world alight with his 2 goals in, I think it's 9 appearances, albeit most of them have been off the bench. But here comes Thomas now on the right hand side. He's in the channel. Plays it inside to Kerr, who lays it off for Grimshaw, crosses in, and Forth has had to go forth and tip it over the bar. And these puns are terrible, and I wouldn't blame you for turning off right now, but never mind. There's another corner. We started the game very brightly. It didn't help that I've just burnt my tongue on my cup of tea prior to recording, so that's a bit of a pain. But a draw wouldn't be a terrible result in terms of keeping where we are, but in terms of where we are in the league. But if we want to aim up here, then we need to start picking up some wins, especially at home, and passing it straight to them in like a dangerous area definitely is not acceptable, as Brady looks to capitalise on that. Another loose ball again from Dunn. This is very much unlike us. Right heads away though, and Woodland can pick it up and finds Adicunley. And he goes back to Brady and towards Woodland, and Rufus Hound is in here, and he's apparently got a penalty from nothing, it seems to me. I thought Wright was just about to tackle him, and all of a sudden he's probably gone down like he's been shot. But it looks like Eastleigh are going to find themselves at 1-0 down, thanks to a Piers penalty, unless Maxted can actually save it. He went the right way, but sadly not good enough, really. We don't want to be giving away penalties, basically giving them free goals here, and we definitely need to improve our performance here, because I can see us slipping down the table, if not, because as you can see we've already dropped. As I said earlier, we have played the same games as Chester, so that is potentially another team we've got to leapfrog if we do want to be successful. But you know, you can't always blame a penalty. Well, you can. You can blame the defender, but you can't blame the goalkeepers in that instance. It's you know, it's tough for a goalkeeper in a penalty situation. Giraldo is the greediest player of all time there. Had options in the middle and opted to shoot from the narrowest of angles. And Mark Kerr's picked up an injury. It looks like just from jogging casually. But anyway, with the ball, we now don't have any right midfielders apart from Eaton Collins, which is one of the areas I'm looking to try and strengthen with the money that we've gained. So it's kind of worrying. The one positive thing is Eaton Collins has played on the right a few times and has actually got a couple of decent ratings, match ratings. So I'm hoping he can continue that and persuade me to take him off the transfer list. But the reason he's on there is because he's on 1,100, or is it 200? £1,100 a week, which is an extortionate amount for him. And the only reason you can't question his ability. It's more his positional sense. He's only an attacking midfielder really, and I'm trying to retrain him. But saying that, his ability in terms of overall is good, but his technical stats still a bit much left to be desired. If that's the right way to say that, probably not. Bobby Moses is having a bit of a mare. The whole team is, because not one player is over a 7, which is usually the case, especially for Jake Hesenthaler. So I'm thinking, at this early stage, we knock work with the ball into the box off and just see if that helps as they get another chance. Hesenthaler loses out and the ball is played in, but now Giraldo can break. He's running at the defender who, if I click on anything, it just lags like hell. And Steele is beaten as Dunn is found by Gerardo Martin, and now Grimshaw's in a potential crossing position. He opts to go inside to Hesenthaler. Woodland just takes it off his toe and boots it long downfield, and that'll probably be the end of the highlight, I would assume. Apparently not. No, it's Mosley. He plays it inside to Hesenthaler. Now it's done. He's found Eaton Collins. That's a good ball out wide to Grimshaw. Crosses in towards Thomas. Oh, overhead kick. First real chance, I think, that you can really say that we've had. It's not gone down as a clear-cut one. But, yeah. Still find ourselves 1-0 down when we should be beating the opposition today, as well as kicking the ball in the net and scoring. In other words, kicking the crap out of them. Thomas is through though, and he shoots straight at the keeper. There's all this part of the net over here if you want to aim there. Yeah, I don't mind. And that was a very good opportunity once again, but unfortunately it's gone down as a miss. That injury to Kerr's got me a little bit worried, because it's the lack of right hand side cover at the minute, and there's not really much available as well. I had a look and there was Lee Frecklington available, albeit he's in the centre. I scouted him and he's only deemed 2 stars, so his attributes looked really good, but his physicals weren't. And it's just like, is it worth risking signing him, and especially when he's on about £650 a week? That's what they were asking for. Come on lad, show a bit of desire. You know, we've been on top of his form lately. You've been disappointing, and you're the captain, so I'm not happy with you. I'm not happy with your performance, in particular you. The others, I'm just going to say I've got faith in, because they haven't been terrible. You know, 6.8 is, it's not amazing, don't get me wrong, but it's not, you know, match losing form, should I say. You know when your team's playing bad if they're getting 6.2s, or they've made a mistake. But if I can get as many of them on green, 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 green. There we go. That worked for the strikers, and well, basically like a striker is an inside forward. So hopefully that little team talk there, I'm going to try and encourage them passionately as well. Try and give them a bit of a confidence boost. As Ethan Collins finds Hessenthaler, and Hessenthaler now just loses it to Brady. It's probably going to be a false highlight as per, but you never know. There has been a couple of goals straight from kickoff in the past. Yep, false highlight. But I actually thought it was a corner then, but it turned out it was actually a throw-in. I'm thinking, why the hell is Grimshaw taking corners with his 3 corner stat? But yeah, we were wrong. Fourth knocks it forward, and Ellerslie is there to head it away. Evans beats Hessenthaler in the air though, and now Ethan Collins can charge down his right hand side, and he's held up, and Hessenthaler takes over and finds him again. Ethan Collins inside to Kerr, and now it's Ethan Collins again. Now it's Grimshaw. He's had to go backwards slightly, keeping on the ball really well. Now Grimshaw's in a position to cross, so he finds Ethan Collins. Ethan Collins crosses to Giraldo! Great finish at the near post. 10th goal of the season for the wingman, and things all of a sudden looking like it is much deserved, as in we at least deserve a draw at this moment in time. We've played very well compared to Chester. I say we played very well, and you look at that stat there and that one, and we're not playing much better, but we are technically playing better, so therefore yes, we do deserve to be drawing 1-1. We've had more chances, we've had more shots on goal, which is the key stat I think that we've been lacking. We've been having like 20 shots and only having like 4 on target, which is pitiful to say the least. Hessenthaler now, his fine's done. That's Giraldo. He has another go. It just shaves the right hand post. That was very unfortunate. Moses having an absolute man. I'm glad I've put the other left back on, Josh Timon. And this could be a chance for someone to shine. Take that style. I'm thinking now, Hessenthaler. Are you able to play anywhere else? You can play defensive midfield. How effective you are there, I'm not sure. But I'm going to drop you into Piers Kerr's position. Piers Kerr is going to play in Lewis Dunn's position, and then we're going to try Liam Walsh as the roaming playmaker. And that's all I'm going to do for now, because I forgot that I made the change in the first half. Because ideally, I'm not too worried about Grimshaw being tired, because I can always put Josh... What's his last name? The right back, Josh Murray. We can get him back in the team in the next game. That's a great ball in, by the way, by Grimshaw. He's doing really well at right back when he's been called upon. And Thomas hits the bar from another decent cross from Grimshaw. We just need another goal, because it'd be no more than what we deserve. They've had 2 shots all game. I think Thomas is going to have to be the man that makes way. I wanted to try and take Mosley off because he's had a poor game, but we need a goal. So Adil Nabi, he's been a bit hit and miss recently. Hopefully he can be the difference here. He's got 15 minutes to make that difference. I know it's not a long time, but yeah, we do need a goal here. If at all possible, please, game. For us, preferably, as they kick the ball long downfield. Akelwright heads it away, but only as far as Evans, and he finds O'Neill on the left hand side. Grimshaw does well and tackles though, and now Walsh, the new man. First time in action, number 7. What's he going to do? He's got some decent passing stats. He finds Ethan Collins. Let's just have a look at those stats. 12 vision, 13 passing, 13 technique. All bodes well. Hessenthaler's technique is 9, so he should be better at passing. Ethan Collins has still kind of got it, but he's lost it now. But Grimshaw takes over. Inside it goes to Hessenthaler. Now it's Ethan Collins. Looks for options. Look at Grimshaw. He's in acres. Shady acres. And Hessenthaler's done well to find him, showing his passing now. So Nobby scores at the near post. It's 2-1. And all of a sudden, I easily find themselves in 9th position, going ahead of Braintree. I nearly said Boston for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, great bowling again from Grimshaw. He's had another blinding game, and Nabli was there. He has come on. He has made a difference. 5 minutes he's been on, and he's probably going to be starting the next game, if I'm being completely honest. We have been really dominant in this game in terms of chances. And we've had 8 on target. Normally that is like 2 on target, 3 on target. It's much more pleasing. Only 2 block shots as well. Do not pass it back to Maxted then. I had a Peter Enkelman moment there, if you remember what happened in that game. I think it's about 10 years ago. It was Birmingham City when they were in the Premier League versus Aston Villa, and their throw was taken by what was his name now? Melberg. Olaf Melberg. Why can't I say his name? He played in the Premier League for ages. I should be able to say his name without even thinking, but it's been a while since we've seen him. And he took a throw in. Enkelman went to control it, the goalkeeper, and it like bounced up underneath his foot, hit his stud and went in, and some fan ran on the pitch, you might remember, and did some sort of naughty gesture towards him. I'd say search it in the YouTube thing, that's probably the best thing I can advise you. But back into the game here, it's the last minute or so, and they are looking to maybe get a last-ditch counter-attack. They're wide right, and that's going to be a punishment. No, Maxted saves the day. Thank you for that, Kaleem. I'm very happy about that because I had visions of them getting one man in between 5 players and the one man winning the ball. You know, that's something that does happen quite regular in this game. But yeah, here comes Grimshaw now, who's for me been the man of the match, and it looks like he is the man of the match. 8.4 rating. Eaton Collins got 8 after coming on. You know, he's making me think. He is a good player. Don't get me wrong. It's just he's on a lot of money, and that's the downside to him. But this has been a very spirited comeback. 1-0 down after an early penalty. We haven't let the game get to us, and even Mosley's got a better performance now. If you say that's his normal rating and you get rid of the penalty, he's probably got about a 7.2 rating because they lose like 0.5 for a mistake and it costs a goal. So yeah, Grimshaw did get the man of the match. I'm very pleased with that. I don't know what to say. I don't think we need to do anything, but I'm going to say he's done brilliant to come back. And it's got mainly a very good, a positive reaction, I think it's fair to say. And yeah, up to 9th. Game in hand over Macclesfield and Tranmere. And then another game in hand over Sutton United. So realistically, with our game in hand, we're above Macclesfield at the very least. So we could be as high as 8th. And hopefully, if Crawley can slip up, and obviously everyone else, we can make our way into the playoffs. And who knows? Playoffs are not usually a good thing to go through. They are very stressful. But you know what? I'd probably take it at this point. Matt Kerr's injured for 4 to 5 weeks, but Walsh made a professional debut and he played fairly well from what I saw. His passing was pretty good, linked up quite well with Hessenthaler. Grimshaw getting the man of the match, playing at right back. It might be hard for Josh Murray to get back in the side, but yeah, he's been very good as a standing right back. So into the next game, what we're going to try and do. I've actually just thought that Eaton Collins is in talks with, I think it's Macclesfield, I want to say. It might not be them. We are playing them shortly though. I'm probably going to say the Grimsby game. That is potentially a good game to do. I think I mentioned that in the last one actually. Grimsby, 1st of February. We'll do that game. Wrap up all the transfer talk and what have you. Unless of course it does get put back because of what pitch or something. So yeah, Grimsby will be the next game. Hopefully you'll join us for that. And until next time, I will see you then. Bye bye.